Okay, parents, so I want to talk to you about um, so one of the things that I want to just keep reiterating is that we are on this in this world for a purpose, to serve God's kingdom, to make known the Lord, to honor him, to glorify him through our lives. So I want to just share with you all like something that happens in parents, as mothers and fathers. What we need to do is to disciple our children. That's where we get the word discipline, right? And it's starting. Um, it's it's coming in truth, right? We want to be people of truth who live the values we proclaim. Okay, so one of the things that happened to me when I was, I grew up in a very religious home, a religious family, in a with Christian values, and the problem is that we didn't live what we said. In our lives, in our family, in the way that we talked to each other and saw things, we were very much, we lived without much structure, without much routine, and without much discipline, correct discipline. And the reason I say that is because we assume two things, or we think discipline in extremes. We think of discipline as really harsh and punitive, which it is, and we think of discipline as discipling and learning and teaching, which it is. But if we take those two out of the context of love, out of the context of understanding, wisdom, honor, love, mercy, helping each other, then you get really into the areas of anger and abuse and, withholding love and, neglect and, where there's oppressing each other and tyranny and we're withholding the good and we're giving too much of the bad, or we're giving too much of the good and withholding the bad. We need to have understanding in everything that we do. The way we live is through understanding and truth. That's what righteousness is, okay? Righteousness is doing what is right. And how can we live in a way that's right if we don't have any understanding, have any truth? So when I say that, what do I mean? When I became a mom, I had all these ideals. I had all these values. I thought I had this. I thought I was this way. I thought my children should be this way. My husband should be this way. My house should be this way. We had so many values, okay? But in truth, I didn't know how to be organized when it came to the children's things. I didn't know how to spend my money wisely. I didn't know how to create more money or to bring in an income or to be diligent, to wake up on time, to go to bed on time, to eat right, to prepare meals for my family in a way that is, cost effective and disciplined. It's a way that's structured and organized, and not organized like, oh, we have to have bins and compartments for everything. We need to be careful with the world's ideas of organization and minimalism, and all these things is just creating more work and more stress and more load and more cost. And really, it's undisciplined in the areas we need to be. So when I had children, adding on to the marriage, we went into ministry, and then we had children, and then I stayed home as a mom. So now I was a stay-at-home mom. Now I'm spending a lot of time with the children, but not having a lot of structure, organization, things to do, purpose, really creates a lot of self-centeredness, because now we're nothing to really pour out into. We have no purpose. It's a lot of vanity, emptiness. You're wondering why the kids are doing what kids should be doing, and you don't understand anything. You don't live your life with joy and purpose and meaning, and your heart becomes really just bitter because you're not spending time in the things of God. So I just want to share that with you. Like, one of the things we need to do is seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. That is through the law of God. So right now is 3 in the hour of prayer. 3 o'clock is one of the hours of prayer, is the evening sacrifice. So we are called to pray and give offerings to the Lord, praise his name, sing to the Lord, make melody to him, dance before him, love him. When we do these things as a habit, as a discipline, as a routine, we're going to have joy in our lives. There's going to be structure because our heart is honoring God first. Then it's doing things that are needed in our day-to-day lives. So it's like a house. A house has a foundation, then it has a frame, then you have the walls and the plaster, then you fill it up with treasures, and then you have different rooms for different purposes. So everything has its place, and we live in that order and not chaos, right? And then we have joy and we have peace, and all the things that we want, we can live in a way that is meaningful. Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you guys again soon.